I want to ask you, there's been a great deal of debate around the, the sort of infiltration debate, as it were, in Manipur. How do you look at this debate? When I met with the Kuki people, they said, we feel so bad. We're called foreigners. We're called infiltrators. We are Indian. And I underlined that the husband of one of the rape survivors on the video, sexual assault survivors rather, on the viral video, is an army veteran of 28 years. But you also have the Meiteis saying, ये बाहर से आए हैं. There is, of course, there used to be a porous border. How do you look at this whole infiltration debate in Manipur today?
Barkha, the narrative itself is false. To say that there's an open border doesn't mean it's open for people to cross and illegally settle in India. It doesn't mean that. Being a border guarding force, and our units on the borders have been regularly checking people coming in and going out. We've been regularly checking the border villages. We've been regularly checking new settlements to find out and to be absolutely clear that there is no illegal migration. That's we've been regularly doing, and that I explained to you in my last talk with you about the Chin Zo people who had come to seek shelter from the Myanmar army, but they were mostly in Mizoram. That's because the Mizos have their cousins and their brothers across the border, and they wanted to help them and to they wanted to help them. I told you my conversation with Dr. Laltan Avla, who said, these are my brothers and I will give any kind of shelter that I can for them. So the Mizos are there, and we have the Home Ministry and the Government of India is aware of all these issues, Bakha. But let me tell you that the Assam Rifles has not allowed a single illegal migration or illegal entry into our country. We are checking these villages continuously. We ensure that even the last news report about the people who had come in was a report by the Assam Rifles to the Government of India, which once again the government of Manipur decided to make it public as if to show it's our fault. It's not. We discovered them, we caught them, we kept them in a particular place and reported it.
Yeah. So you don't agree with this being a fault line in the conversation today?
It's a false narrative, Barkha. It's a false narrative. Absolutely a false narrative.
That's a very important point, because I think the rest of the country thinks that this is some debate around infiltration, and I'm glad you've set the record straight. Finally, the last time we spoke, it was before I went to Manipur. I come back with an even more urgent context to my question. AFSPA. AFSPA has been withdrawn from parts of Manipur. Today, the military cannot operate without a judicial magistrate. You explained this last time. I don't know. There have been others who have said we need an ordinance. We need AFSPA fully back. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely, Barkha. We need a law that will protect us. We need a law that enables our ability to operate without fear. And that law is today the Armed Forces Special Powers Act of 1958. You can call it whatever you want. There has to be legal protection for the armed forces to operate in support of the civil power. There's no doubt. And for that, we need some kind of law.
Final question. What alarms you the most today? Is it that the military itself has not been spared from this ethnic collision?
Barkha, we have gone through this issue many times. You're aware of my service in Kashmir.
Yes.
We have been at the bane of the Kashmiri people too, while doing our duty. We've had stones thrown at us. We've had problems there. And now we're seeing this in the Northeast. I think our soldiers are relatively and capable of are mature enough to know that from where this anger is coming from and why this anger is coming. And like I said, we have the leadership to explain to our soldiers that don't worry, this is a temporary phase and we'll deal with it. We are committed, Barkha. The Army and the Assam Rifles is committed to help the nation regardless of anything. And as you can see in these visuals, our officers are explaining everything with the greatest of patience to everybody, so that they understand that we are not invaders. We're not an army of a foreign land. We are our own Indian army, and Manipur is very much a part of India, and we are here to help and support them.
Yeah,
as
and
we
I
have
should
to do.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to underline that through these 3 months, we have not had a single complaint of the use of force by
Absolutely.
the army. This has to be
Absolutely.
underlined. It's been such a
Yes.
tense situation. Not
Yes.
one use, not one complaint of any
Absolutely.
force used by the military in extremely trying circumstances, in
Absolutely, Barka.
circumstances where the passage of soldiers has been blocked. And that is the
Absolutely.
spirit of the uniform. Thank you, General
And
Chauhan.
that is
Always
the
learn. Yeah,
empathy, Barka, the empathy
absolutely.
that the Assam Rifles has in
Yes,
not forcing its way, but trying its best to explain to people the reason why we are here and the reason why we must continue to protect. Because these
absolutely.
are fragile communities.